Hiya, Bobby.
Hi, Kim. I'm a Barbie girl in the Barbie world. Life in plastic, it's fantastic.
This is easier if I hold it vertical, so let's see how this goes. Okay, I'm outside on my balcony during a storm, and I had originally filmed this like 2 weeks ago, but somehow I deleted it. We're gonna go ahead and do this here. It was at Publix, and I got a spiritual parallel. Whenever I go out, and I know that a lot of other tall girls, when they go out, the dying, burning question of everyone's soul is, how tall are you? If it's not that, it's did you play basketball? And by did you play basketball, they are projecting the fact that they know you played basketball, and if you didn't, you're a waste of life, is basically how that comes across. So I'm at Publix, and dude says, gentleman says, I know you get this question a lot, but how tall are you? And I say I'm 6'1", and basically his head explodes. So there's no way for me to be 6'1", because he has to be 6'1", and if he's not 6'1", then he's not a man, and his whole entire life is a lie. Alright, so the spiritual parallel with that I noticed is, I'm just going to speak for myself so that I'm not projecting my circumstance or my experience onto anybody else. So in life, I have projected my insecurity or my feeling of lack or an inferiority complex even onto a situation or a person, and it wasn't the reality at all. Let me just give you the anecdote. So whenever I was in college, or even just coming up in volleyball, it has been, or it was, a predominantly white person sport, and you travel a lot, especially when you're in club volleyball. It just happened to be, from my experience at least, I was typically on a team with a lot of girls that were well off, or you know, their families had done well for themselves, and some of them were just outright rich. Okay, and so I remember that going to the locker room in college in particular, you know, I would see my teammates, they'd be wearing Lululemon, or they'd be like, girls, I just got this new Lululemon sports bra, it cost me $50, and I'd be like,
oh my God, who has come at the house looking like that? I'm gonna turn up on the salon that did her hair like that.
I don't even need a $50 sports bra. First of all, I can go to Walmart, get 5 for $3. Like, what do I look like spending $50 on a sports bra? And it's like, why are you even breaking your neck like that? Like, why are we even doing this right now? I didn't see it at the time, so retrospectively, I saw that I was, one, championing poverty. I could not afford a $50 sports bra if I wanted it. And then taking a pride, which in itself is inherently wrong and sinful if I'm sticking to my foundation and my faith, taking pride in the fact that I basically was struggling and that my family wasn't in the greatest financial situation, you know? And then I guess like low-key I envied the fact that they could ball like that. And I was projecting all of that onto them by flexing that I had no money. Like, I'm looking foolish. Like, why are you flexing that you have no money? Okay, I'll just use an example. One of my teammates, King, if she's watching this, I'm sure she's not, but her father is like the commissioner or something major in the US soccer team. And I would even look at that in the past and be like, I mean, I wonder how many breaks he got just because, you know, like he's a white male. And it's like, why are you even thinking that way? And sure, like, let's stop playing games for a second. It's about to pick up. The rain's about to pick up. But white privilege exists. Okay. And so I'm not going to act like I'm ignorant of that fact. But point blank, especially now having been an entrepreneur for a few years now, like, I'm really starting to get it more. Like, I think I saw one day that Oprah was like, I ain't got no money. Like, people ask her for money all the time and handouts and stuff. She's like, I don't even carry money because people are always trying to ask for money. And it seemed ruthless at the time. Like, why wouldn't you give the money that you know, that you have? Like, you have so much in abundance and stuff. But the point I'm trying to get to is, if you are successful, and no matter what you're doing, like even the Lil Waynes of the world, they had to put themselves out there. They had to make the mixtapes. They had to get in these streets and go after what they wanted, whatever it is. Even like, I have to use the bottom of the barrel examples a little bit. I don't want to say bottom of the barrel, but I'm really getting wet. Okay, I'll stand here. But like the Black Chinas of the world, or like the Kim Kardashians, like those people, and I don't want to use secular examples, but I'm using it for the spectrum. Even the, you know, the Bill Gates and all the other corrupt people out there in these streets, but all the mega successful people and everybody in between, and the people that we even admire, the spectrum of successful people, they all put themselves out there in the first place, and they repeatedly and persistently pursued what they wanted. And for King, her dad is taking care of her family, which he should, and they have the ability to have expendable income, which is awesome. Like, that's part of living and being free. Maybe you come from a family that maybe has experienced generational poverty, and whatever you want to call it, like a generational curse of poverty and stuff. And I'll definitely get into that in a different video about, I mean, how I fasted and prayer and supplication, how Father God helped me break that chain in my personal life, but that's another story. I'm just saying, like, no matter what it is, even if it's not wealth, if it's beauty or talent or whatever it is, whatever that personal thing is for you, just to kind of be cognizant and the gatekeeper of your thoughts, that you may be projecting an inferiority that you're feeling about that thing onto other people and circumstances that doesn't really exist, or not that it doesn't exist, but it's really a personal problem, and that person really shouldn't be, you know, chastised for it, or make yourself look foolish because of what's really going on a deeper level. So that was the spiritual parallel that I saw with being a tall girl and always being told, like, I'm not my height. I am, and it's great, you know, just because people feel shorter than me. So that is everything for this video, and it was kind of nice being out here in the rain, but I hope it sounds okay. Alright, my email is heytallgirl1@gmail.com, and my Instagram is spacecadet15. If you ever want to connect, not promoting, just building a community, alright? So I will talk to you next video. Bye.